Combination Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, The Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on The Jason Walker Show.
It's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on The Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations. The In-Town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave, here's Jason Walker.
Happy Wednesday, The Jason Walker Show, coming to you on the Facebook. Facebook.com/The Jason Walker Show. Also on YouTube Live, Podbean Live, Network One Sports Live, and Treasure State Radio Live. If you don't have any of those, I highly suggest you get them. Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations. The In-Town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. You can also follow us on the Twitter at JWalkerSports, at Jason Walker Show. Email anytime, JasonWalkerSports@gmail.com. And you can also go to JasonWalkerShow.com for everything related to the Jason Walker Show. All right, let's get going here. What's coming up today inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave? Today we are chatting with Jeff Mahina, the Capital Wrestling coach, as the wrestling season coming down to its final couple of weeks. Big dual win last night, two big wins last night for the Bruins over in the Garden City. Checking with Coach Mahina. We're going to talk high school basketball rankings as well as Frontier NAI Top 25 poll is out. That's what she said coming up, and that is brought to you by Dinners Done Right. And today, a couple of ladies that are going to talk about Kobe Bryant and what he meant to them. And that is on the way on this day in history. We got the walk-off. We got a whole bunch going on. There's games tonight we're going to talk about. We're also, if we have time, going to chat about, there's a new, what's the word I'm looking for, proposal to basically quell college salaries in college coaches for football. I mean, a lot of them are out of hand, right? You know, $10, $11 million a year for a college football coach. Come on. So we're gonna, if we have time, we'll chat about that. But I want to get going with the high school rankings that were released, and those come from our good friends over at 406mtsports.com. Let's start with the girls. Ladies first, as always, right? And Hardin is the new number one, moving up 2 spots. They are 12-1. Billings Central drops a spot, 10-1. You get where, you see why. They're in second. Havre is third, dropping a spot. Browning stays at 4. Columbia Falls stays at 5. They are Browning is 9-2. Columbia Falls is 9-1. In Class B, you've got the Loyola girls unbeaten, 12-0, number 1. Big Timber moving up a spot to number 2. Also 12-0. Harlem, 11-1, drops a spot. Whitehall is in 4th. Forsyth is in 5th. LeBray 6th. Colstrip, Glasgow, and Columbus and Malta round out the top 10. In Class C, here's your top 10. Fort Benton, Belt, Roy Winifred, Charlo, Melstone, your top 5. The bottom 5 in the top 10, Westby, Grenora, Hot Springs, Plentycoo, Manhattan Christian, and Webo is number 10. All right, so that's the girls' rankings. On the boys' side, you have number 1, no surprise, Hellgate. Unbeaten, big win last night. We're going to talk about that here in a second. West is 8-1. And let's see. Capital 7-2 is ranked 3rd. Sentinel, number 4. Bozeman, number 5. They are 6-3 on the season. In Class A, you've got Hardin, Butte Central, Hamilton, Frenchtown, and Browning. Class B, Lodgegrass, Huntley, Colstrip, Three Forks, and Fairfield. followed by Lame Deer, Shelby, Rocky Boy, Harlem, Loyola. Class C, Manhattan Christian, number 1. Twin Bridges, number 2. Fort Benton, number 3. Melstone, number 4. Scobie, number 5. Those teams are a combined a lot and 1. That's 36 and 24 is what, 50? No, 60? 60 and 1 combined. Your bottom 5 in the top 10 for Class C boys: Fairview, Chinook, Plentycoo, Sealy Swan, and Sims. Those are your high school rankings. All right, Hellgate got a big win last night, both boys and girls. And I know we got some problems on the Facebook. I'm not sure why, but bear with us. It's retrying, restarting, it's running, it's back up. All right, so here's what I wanted to talk about. There was a play last night. Raleigh Worcester, who's headed to Utah State. Great play. Came down the side of the court. Took a couple of steps. Big dunk. Huge dunk. Worcester would end up fouling out with 9 points in the third quarter. But a fantastic play. Great dunk. No doubt about it. The problem was, it was called a charge. And I agreed with it. A couple of officials who are friends of mine also watched it and said it was a charge. Because if you've seen the video on the Twitter, and I'll have to share it, or you can go to my page and just follow along with the readings. Everybody just wants to disagree with me. Doesn't matter what my opinion is. Jason can never be right on an opinion. Anyway, that's why it's an opinion. I get to have one. You get to have one. It's the way it rolls. Last night was pretty civil for the most part in our discussion on the Twitter. You can go to @J Walker Sports. But anyway, it was called a charge. I sent it to a couple of my official friends. They each agreed. Some other officials said it was a tough play, and I wish I could show it on the Facebook or the YouTube, but I cannot. But anyway, some coach or some official said you got, the play, you kind of override the rule. The rule is the defender was in place. He was legal. He had 2 feet on the ground facing his opponent before the offense went airborne. I also have the picture of the play in the still on my Twitter page. I also have the rule because of the charge where Worcester led with his knee. And the argument I got on the Twitter from family members of Worcester and others was, have you ever shot a layup? Your knee always goes up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's if there's nobody in front of you. But when illegal contact occurs by the offensive player with the ball, leading with a foot or an extended knee, then it's an offensive foul, player control foul. You can't lead with your legs, and you can't lead like I've seen it called an offensive foul. Player shooting a 3, player control foul, was shooting a 3. He got called for a player control foul because he kicked his legs out. You can't do it. You also can't extend your knee into a player's chest, and that's what happened. It was an offensive foul last night, player control. Right call was made. Now, because of the prettiness of the dunk, should you have let it go? Maybe. Not arguing that. But it's been a rough week for the Worcester family. Dad got kicked out of a game at Butte last week for getting into an argument with a Butte fan. Not surprised a Butte fan got into an argument. However, the dad, Worcester dad, was screaming at the ref with expletives. This went on for a lot of the game, according to reports. Butte fan said, look at the scoreboard and shut up. Then the Hellgate dad immediately started dropping F-bombs and threatening to fight. So then he got kicked out. Now, Raleigh Worcester is a great kid. This has nothing to do with him. He's going to go to college. Utah State is going to have a great time. So the reporter that put this out about the fan getting kicked out of the game last night, or last week, was on the 25th, so it would have been, Saturday night, said you can't make yourself look any more stupid. To which daughter replied, "That's my father," quote, "that's my father you're speaking poorly of. That man is far from stupid. Maybe you'd think differently if it were your kid potentially getting injured. You're a news reporter, not a gossip column. Keep your personal opinions out of your news reporting," end quote. That was from Shannon Worcester, who plays ball at Dillon, the national champ. Now, none of us were there. You, I, nobody. But going off of the accuracy of the reports, it was not a good time to be dropping F-bombs and getting kicked out of a game if you are Worcester's dad. Watch your kid. Just play ball, okay? Your kid's going to be a stud. He's going to Utah State. That's awesome. I don't know if it's a sister. I don't know. This is what social media. So she got into an argument with me because I said that it was a charge last night on the dunk. And she kept trying to, she questioned if I could read. This would be Sammy Worcester. It was just a nice little argument and discussion. But I'll put the video back up if you haven't seen it. The rule book. Nobody wants to read the rule book, except for me, apparently. But anyway, it's a pretty good follow on the Twitter if you want to follow it. Jason Walker Sports, at Jason Walker Sports, or at J Walker Sports. So anyway, all right. So I had to get that off my chest. Man. So coming up, we're going to talk about a proposed federal law that is seeking to limit salaries among college coaches. Mainly football, but also basketball would be involved. We're also going to check in. That's what she said. And we have top 25 NAIA rankings to get to for the women and a whole lot more. Jason Walker Show. We're going to come right back. The Jason Walker Show is presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Coming right back. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Everyone knows about Dinner's Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinner's Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinner's Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. The holidays have come and gone, and now is a good time to treat yourself to what you really wanted. A full detail for your vehicle from Auto Concepts. Right now, Auto Concepts is offering a full detail for just $195. Or maybe you want to tint those windows. Auto Concepts does that too. Get that tonneau cover or bed rug you've always wanted and add in remote start, alarms, running boards, lift kits, toppers, winches, bug guards, grill guards, and much more. Check out Auto Concepts on Facebook or visit the website autoconceptshelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
So Wednesday, inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations. Thank you for joining us, wherever you might be listening. Whether it's on the Facebook or the YouTube where you're watching and listening, or checking in Network One Sports, Treasure State Radio, Podbean. Hi, Glenn. Trying to figure this Podbean thing out, so bear with me, Glenn. But appreciate you joining us. Jason Walker Show here on a Wednesday. Still to come, we have That's What She Said, and on this day in history. But That's What She Said. We're going to check in with a couple of ladies who are going to share their thoughts on Kobe Bryant and his unfortunate passing on Sunday. So we'll check in with him, or with them, about Kobe. All right, so the high school wrestling season is coming down to the wire, and there's just a few weeks left. You've got regular season wrapping up this week. Tomorrow, we're going to check in with Townsend wrestling coach John Odell. They have a couple of mixers coming up this weekend. You've got the divisionals and seeding tournaments next weekend, and then state the following weekend. So, 3 weeks from state? So is state during Valentine's Day? I believe it is. All right, so I love wrestling. I love talking about wrestling. It's so much fun. All right, so by the way, all of our guests join us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. It's not just a home or a car. It's the 5 hours that you spent in the kitchen mastering your epic wing recipe, and I say epic, right? And then you take it to the tailgate where it's just even more epic, right? Other insurance companies just see it as a bundle or a combo, but State Farm agent Mike Miller sees your home and car as the time and memories that you put into them. Mike Miller understands what your things really mean to you, and he's here to help give you the protection you deserve. Talk to State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena for your home and auto insurance today. And joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline is the head coach of the Capital Bruins. Couple of big wins last night, and that is where we're going to start as soon as I get him on the air. So you have to hold on a second because we have to get Coach Mahana loaded up. Man, oh man. Sorry about that. It's called live radio or television or whatever we're doing, right? But we'll get Coach Mahana here in a moment, and bear with us. Man, fun stuff, right? And let's see, is this it? Is this it? It is. Let's do this. All right, let's get Coach Mahana on, if we can, in a second. All right. Hey, we got a good friend watching on the Facebook. I want to say hi. I'm not going to say your name because I don't want to get in trouble. But you're a good dude. And where is it? All right, let's try. Coach Mahana, you there? Let's see. Coach, welcome. First off, couple of big wins for you last night. Well, let's chat about those first.
It was. We were able to go down and get a doubleheader last night with Missoula Big Sky and Sentinel, and those are two quality programs in the West, and we're able to come out with some wins. So that was pretty exciting for us.
Definitely, and some big wins too as you head in. I guess these were the final duels really before you got Glacier and Flathead this weekend. We'll talk about in a second, but before the seeding tournament next week. This has been a good year so far for the Bruins. How you feeling?
I'm really pleased with where we're at. This season has been a really fun one, and it seems like every year they go faster and faster. I've been fortunate. We had 7 seniors out on the squad this year. When you look at our lineup, we're a bunch of freshmen and sophomores for the most part. I mean, we have a lot of really young talent that are going to be with us for a long time.
They definitely are, and that includes defending state champ Carson DeRozier at what 38? Is that what he's at, or 30?
132, yeah.
32, yeah.
Yep.
He's pretty good.
You know, he's doing – Carson does all the right stuff. You know, he's that quintessential guy that you read about in the books when they talk about doing the right thing all the time. And he truly lives that mantra. He spends his life in the weight room. He goes to bed on time. His nutrition's on point. And it's really staggering because he's a really young kid. I mean, he's just barely 16 years old, and he's just so driven. It's very unusual.
Jeff Mahana, the Capital Wrestling coach, joining us here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline on the Jason Walker Show. How the season's been good so far? You I don't know your record in duels. You probably do.
You know, right now, off the top of my head, I don't even know.
Really?
They're all practice going into that last weekend for us. And you know, right now we've been on a pretty good run as of late. We've been a lot of wins in January. I think we've only lost 2 times, and that was last weekend. And it was a great opportunity for us, and it was pretty exciting.
With those AA duels, it was a chance to see everybody again before the seeding tournament and before the state tournament coming up next month. What did you take away from that seeding tournament? Because you do have some great individuals, but at the same time, you've got to get enough individuals qualified to where you can come home with some trophy hardware.
You know, and that's really the fine balance. You know, when we were up there last weekend, I actually rested 7 of my varsity guys. The guys that are normally in our lineup, for the most part, didn't wrestle. So while we were really trying to develop our number 2 kids, kind of see where we're at, because when you get to AA wrestling at the state tournament, it's all about team scoring points. So not just how good your number 1s are, but where your number 2s at, etc.
Jeff Mahana, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show. That's exactly right. And what is how many guys do you anticipate right now taking to state?
You know, we have the potential to take 26. You know, I've been talking to the guys. A great goal for us would probably be 18. As the head coach of Capital, I've never had more than 18 guys qualify for the state tournament. That'd be a great number for us. So that's kind of our goal this year.
18 would be awesome. When you look across the state, especially to start with the Western AA, because that's where you guys are. Obviously, you look at a Flathead, you look at a Capital. Who else stands out to you right now in the West?
You know, Butte does a great job. They're new to our division this year. They're very senior heavy. They had their senior night last night, and I want to say they're up over double digits with older guys, and they're doing a lot of good stuff down there.
Yeah, they definitely are. And you switch to that East, man, Great Falls High looks to be the team to beat really across the state right now, don't they?
They really do seem to be the front runner. They're so deep. I mean, gosh, their number 3 guys could be most guys' varsity.
Wow.
They've got some stuff going on, and a lot of numbers too.
Yeah, speaking of numbers, that's what I wanted to ask you. You've seen the growth of the Bruin wrestling program over the last few years. Where are your numbers at?
You know, right now we started the season with 52 after a few injuries and whatnot. Every day in the practice room, we're still running with about 45 guys. And I want to say my first year when we started this thing 6 years ago, you know, we had 18 show up. Wow. So seeing the growth and the progressions has been really, really exciting for us at Capital.
You've tripled your numbers in 6 years, and that 18 is the number you're hoping to get to state this year, which is awesome. I mean, it just all ties in together a little bit here. All right, you head up to the Flathead Valley this week. You go up tomorrow night. You got duels with Flathead and Glacier. We know how good Flathead has been over the years. What are you expecting to get out of the Bruins this weekend or this week? Because are you going to rest? I mean, it's like I said, it's the final tune-up really before the seeding tournament next weekend, which is really what it's all about.
You know, I'm really looking for our kids to compete. Kalispell is really fortunate where they don't really wrestle in Montana a ton. I bet I can count a handful of times that we've wrestled at Kalispell school this year, just because they're on that Idaho border. They spend so much time in Idaho and Washington and whatnot that it gives us one more good look, you know. And in the Western AA, Kalispell's kind of that school that you measure yourself off of. Mm-hmm. And we'll know exactly where we're at after Thursday evening.
You definitely will. Jeff Mahana, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show, the Capital Wrestling coach. Got a few final questions for you, Coach. But we talked a little bit about Carson DeRozier and how good he is at 132. Let's go through the list. And I mean, you've got the Kovic kid who's really good and has won a couple of matches this year. Take me through the individuals that you're number ones right now.
You know, right now, Noah at 182 is really, really wrestling really sharp for us.
Mm-hmm.
He came in as a freshman and lit the world on fire. And this year, he's matured, and he's really, really turned it on. Zay McCormick, senior captain for us. He's been around for 2 years as a 2-year captain. He's that real stable runner. You know, he was our middle linebacker in football, and now he's kind of been our anchor for Capital for years at those upper weights. You know, we're expecting a lot of really good things out of him. Josh Lee at 285 was a state placer last year. I mean, he came out and started wrestling as a freshman. And right now, going into the seeding tournament, he should probably be a number 2 seed coming in, and that's why we wrestle him. You know, try to get ourselves to be that number 1 spot. Our little fellas at 103, Hunter Ron, freshman coming in. He's had a great season. Gosh, he's up over 20 wins. He's had a really strong performance. You know, we're just a really strong young team. I've got a junior at 145, Wyatt Schneider. He's ranked in the AA. He put in just so much time. Got another freshman at 152, Dylan Graham's really turned it on this last month. You know, being a freshman, there's growing pains.
Sure.
And you come in and you have to wrestle men. When you wrestle in the club system before high school, you wrestle kids your own age. And then you show up the first weekend and he drew the defending state champ for his first match. I mean, it's just a whole different realm. So they're all learning and catching on.
You know, with wrestling too, as Coach Mahana, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, you got the little guys, like you mentioned, you got the big guys, and you want that balance in between because, you know, when you get to that state tournament, like you said, team points add up. And it seems like for the first time in a long time, Capital's got some balance all the way from the littles to the heavies.
You know, it really has. We've always kind of been a football school. You know, when people talk about Capital High School, it's synonymous with football. And now we've been able over the last few years to find a really good balance. We are a very football-heavy team. A lot of our guys do multiple sports, but this is the first year that we are 2 or 3 deep at every single weight class, and that's really exciting for us for long-term development.
It definitely is. I wanted to get your thoughts on the MHSA last week approving girls wrestling to the state, which I think is a great thing. What's your thoughts?
You know, that's really exciting. When they came and approved that, you know, every year I've had 2 to 3 females come out every year and wrestle for us. Mm-hmm. Women's wrestling on the collegiate level is growing exponentially. We see the high school is obviously growing by storm, and we're really excited. I mean, Capital has a tremendous women's sports program, even in just the last few years with the Barch girls and the Hofer girl and all the talent they have. It's going to be really exciting to see what we can tap into when we get women's wrestling next year.
I think it's a great thing, like I said, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the growth of the sport across the state. You mentioned football. Who wins the Super Bowl?
Ooh, that's going to be a good one. I'm going to say let's go 49ers.
Okay. What's your team, though? I mean, this obviously you don't have a team in the fight.
No. I'm actually a Denver Broncos fan.
Oh.
So you know we've had a dry spell as of late, but you know they're looking pretty good here at the end of the year. They kind of turned it on a little bit.
Hold on a sec. You mentioned a dry spell. You won a Super Bowl 3 or 4 years ago. I'm a Cowboys fan, like Coach Almquist over there as well.
Oh no!
It's been a long dry spell for us.
It has been. But you know, when you get those high-level guys and they want to compete for greatness, 3 years of dryness doesn't feel very good.
That is true. Final question for you. We mentioned girls wrestling, but how about boys powerlifting coming in? And I know you're a big guy with the power weights. This is a cool thing, too, for the boys. But how is it going to affect...
Really, really cool.
Yeah, how's it going to affect some of the other sports, though?
You know, right now, when the MHSA kind of approved that, it didn't really have a format in place. So we're kind of scrambling to, I shouldn't say scrambling, but we're working together to put that together. But it's going to be exciting. I mean, we have a culture at Capital where our club powerlifting team has won the powerlifting Montana High School State Championships, not MHSA sanctioned, but for 20 plus years. I mean, I competed on the team when I was in high school. So we have that really strong background in that, and that's really exciting for us to continue to hit those weights, and that'll be a real fun addition.
I'll have to get you to get me on a weight program. How's that?
Oh man, that would be something, wouldn't it?
I mean, I know I already kind of look like you, but if I could just bulk up a little bit more. Jeff Mahana, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. Appreciate the time, Coach. Good luck this week, and hopefully we can catch up before state.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you very much for taking the time.
That is Jeff Mahana joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Make sure you get a hold of Mike Miller at State Farm in Helena. Coach Mahana joining us, and they head up to Flathead and Glacier tomorrow, and then you got the seeding tournaments in a week, and then that'll be at Helena High, and then of course you've got the state wrestling tournament. Man, the Bruins have a chance to bring home some hardware, and it's going to be tough to get past a Great Falls High. It's going to be tough to get past. Great Falls High is just running. I mean, they're so good right now. I could see the Bruins, though, bringing home a team trophy, and maybe even the Bengals, but it's going to depend on how much you get, how many guys you get. And like Coach Mahana said, you want multiples, definitely. So good luck to all the wrestlers. Tomorrow, we're going to check in with John Odell, the Townsend wrestling coach, also the tennis coach out there, but we'll talk wrestling. You could probably play some tennis, I mean, the way the weather's been going. Eric Peterson will join us later this week as well, the head coach of the Helena High girls, and potential. I'm not going to say it yet. I don't want to ruin it. We're going to have a special guest, though, this week. I can't wait. I don't want to say his name, so we'll wait. Support for the Jason Walker Show comes from Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Guys, you've shaved in the past, right? And you get nicked, you get cut, you just don't know, you're scared. Well, now you don't have to be. Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Lawnmower 2.0 has proprietary skin-safe technology. This trimmer will not nick, it will not snag, and accidents are a thing of the past. Don't use the same trimmer, though, on your face as you do down there. Trust me on this. I'm just telling you, it's just disgusting. Manscaped also has the Crop Preserver. And this is a deodorant. It's anti-chafing. It's a moisturizer as well. And think about this. You put deodorants on your pits. Why not put it on the smelliest part of your body, right? I'm telling you. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com. That's Walker, WALKER 20 at manscaped.com. Manscaped is always the right tools for the job. Trust me, your balls will thank you. Valentine's Day is a couple weeks away, guys. I'm telling you. Hello. Get 20% off free shipping with the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Just use the code WALKER20, WALKER20. I wanted to get to this. We got This Day in History coming up. Also going to be on This Day in History. And the walk-off, there's some college basketball tonight that's very intriguing down in the Magic City. But I wanted to get to this story. We kind of talked about it a little bit. So there's a new law that's proposed, federal law. It is the latest and perhaps the most powerful. This comes from CBSSports.com. Came out, saw this yesterday. But there's an attempt to seek to limit the just out of nuts, crazy salaries among college coaches. And House Representative Donna Shalala of Florida is a sponsor of this bill. And it was introduced last month, and it wants to establish a Congressional Advisory Commission on Intercollegiate Activity or Athletics to, quote, investigate the relationship between institutions of higher education and intercollegiate athletic programs, end quote. So most of the attention around this proposed bill is centered around increased oversight of sexual assault by the NCAA. with athletes. However, the bill contains a provision that would examine the funds that are distributed to coaching salaries. You think about some of these coaches that are making $8, $9, $10 million a year to coach college football or college basketball. And there's a lot of arguments about you can pay the coaches, but you can't pay the kids who are making the money for the coaches to get the big pays for the universities and colleges. This will be interesting to follow. A lot of these, the bill's as yet revealed sponsors include many Republican senators from southern states that include SEC schools: Alabama, Mississippi State, Florida. Think of those. There are 6 legislatures from both sides of the aisle, so this is a bipartisan bill, which is interesting to see as well. It is nuts. When you look at what college football coaches make, and typically, in most states, they're the highest paid state employee. But do college football coaches, or even, let's not even get into the pro argument about this, but do college football coaches need to be making over $1 million a year? No. No, they don't. I don't care how good they are. I don't care how many championships they've won. They don't need to be making just nuts amount of money. And this isn't a guy that's saying, hey, don't pay him anything. Get paid for sure. But I just can't see it, man. That's a lot of dough for a coach, right? And I think it's just dumb. I really do. But that's just me. You can weigh in on your opinion. Let me know what you think at Jay Walker Sports or Jason Walker Media or Jason Walker Show at gmail.com. No, it's Jason Walker Sports at gmail.com. I got so much stuff. Just go to jasonwalkershow.com. You can find how to email me there. Get a hold of me on the Twitter. All the Facebook stuff is there too. Man. What else we got coming up today? The That's What She Said. On This Day in History is still to come. The Walk-Off. And a ton more. The Jason Walker Show is presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. And I know we got great weather, and we've had great weather, but think about the spring and the summer coming up. Guys and gals and families are going to be making trips to Montana. You got relatives that want to come visit you. You don't necessarily want them to stay in your house. This is great. Helena Accommodations, you get 4-night stay, you get a 4-month stay. Use this, though. Use Helena Accommodations to either put up your traveling business associates, your friends, your family, anybody who's coming to town. Or if you just want a night away, or, weekend away, do that as well. HelenaAccommodations.com, 22 extended stay suites, all close to downtown Helena, and all within walking distance of the Walking Mall or Carroll College, or the Carousel, for instance, but HelenaAccommodations.com, and get your booking done now for the upcoming spring and summer. And you got football season around the corner, too. Start planning ahead. Think about it. HelenaAccommodations.com. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. That's What She Said. The NAI Women's Top 25 and a whole lot more still to come. Jason Walker Show.
The holidays have come and gone, and now is a good time to treat yourself to what you really wanted. A full detail for your vehicle from Auto Concepts. Right now, Auto Concepts is offering a full detail for just $195. Or maybe you want to tint those windows. Auto Concepts does that too. Get that tonneau cover or bed rug you've always wanted and add in remote start, alarms, running boards, lift kits, toppers, winches, bug guards, grill guards, and much more. Check out Auto Concepts on Facebook or visit the website autoconceptshelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Jason Walker Show here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave on a Wednesday. Yeah, got some good stuff. Hey, by the way, if you want anything of your favorite team hung up in the man cave here, the Major Mortgage Man Cave, you can send it to us. Just get a hold of me, jasonwalkersports@gmail.com, and we'll hang it up. We got Flint Rasmussen, Cooper Tires outfit we're going to hang up in here. So anytime you want to send something, what are your favorite team, put it up. I got Sasha Cohen's autograph picture over here. Flint. Yeah, we got some good stuff. All right, still to come, That's What She Said, and On This Day in History, and the walk-off as well. And before we get to any of all of that, and all of it, really, the latest NAI Women's Top 25 Coaches poll was released this morning, and Oklahoma City got all 9 first-place votes and moved into the number 1 spot. The Stars are 18-0 and moved up a spot. In second place, moving up a spot, is Campbellsville, Kentucky. 1 loss on the year. The Masters, which was number 1, fell to number 3 after losing for the first time in the last couple of weeks. They're 20-1. The Masters and sits third. Westmont stays at 4. Wayland Baptist, Texas, rounds out the top 5. And then you go all the way down. Got some great teams between 5 and 17. And at 17, for the second straight poll as well, you will find the Carroll College women. 14-6 on the year. Winners of 7 of the last 8. And leading the Frontier Conference at 6-2. Northern is 18th. They stay. The Lights at number 18. And coming off the win over the Saints women a week ago. At 21st, you got LC State, and then at number 22, holding steady, Montana Western. By the way, LC State moving up 4 spots to number 21, and then Western at number 22, and Rocky drops 4 to 24. And that means that tonight is a top 25 battle in the Magic City, Rocky hosting Carroll. Also receiving votes, Providence, although I don't know why. Just don't. Frontier looking to get 5 teams again to the national tournament and possibly 6. That would be nuts. And at one point this year, all 7 teams were ranked, which is even receiving votes. 5 ranked, 2 receiving votes. Now you've got 5 ranked, 6 receiving votes. But you're going to see some movement in that because Carroll has to play LC State twice. Northern still once more. Providence still once more. And Rocky still twice more, with tonight counting as the second of 3. So there you go. There's your NAI Women's Top 25. New men's poll will be released at some point. They've changed up the scheduling this year, which is really weird. They're going to go almost 3 weeks between polls, it looks like. So the new men's poll will be released next week. And so there you go. Carroll men are going to drop. They've lost 3 straight, and they've got a big game at Rocky tonight as well. And they went triple overtime down there in Billings a couple of weeks ago. The Saints got the win, and then they've lost 3 straight since. So there you go. All right, let's get to let's do That's What She Said on this Wednesday. It is presented by Dinner's Done Right. Dinner's Done Right is the home of the grab-and-go menus. Grab-and-go dinner, which is fantastic. And it's one of those deals where you can stop in. You can call ahead, but you can stop in as well and get dinner for that night. But we're here to talk about what you can do during the day. You're at work. You're thinking, hey, what do I do for lunch? I don't want to eat greasy fast food. Here's what you do. You go to Dinner's Done Right and you get the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For about $10, the healthiest lunch you're going to get all week long. You can go daily too. But freshest ingredients, the healthiest food, homemade dressings, plus you get the nacho bar, which is just as good, a daily soup every day. I'm telling you, Dinner's Done Right, soup, salad, and nacho bar is the way to go for lunch on a Wednesday. And they are a proud sponsor of That's What She Said. And today, That's What She Said, it's all about Kobe Bryant. And, he passed away Sunday along with his daughter. You might have saw the hashtag #GirlDad on Twitter and social media started yesterday. Well, Elle Duncan of ESPN is really the driving force behind that. And we're going to hear from her. We're also going to hear from Diana Taurasi, who plays for Team USA and grew up in LA. We're going to get her thoughts as well. So a 2-parter, That's What She Said, presented by Dinner's Done Right.
We always hear from the guys. What about the ladies? Time for That's What She Said. Brought to you by Dinner's Done Right.
It's likely that you're hearing many personal anecdotes about Kobe Bryant, so here's mine. I met Kobe one time, backstage at an event for ESPN in New York, and I saw him and I thought, oh my gosh, that's Kobe. I got to get a picture for the gram. That's the picture. I didn't get it for a few minutes because as I approached him, he immediately commented on my rather large 8-month pregnant belly. How are you? How close are you? What are you having? A girl, I said, and then he high-fived me. Girls are the best. I asked him for advice on raising girls, seeing as though he quite famously had 3 at the time. And he said, just be grateful that you've been given that gift because girls are amazing. His 3rd daughter, Bianca, was about a year and a half old at the time. So I asked if he wanted more children. And he said that his wife, Vanessa, really wanted to try again for a boy, but was sort of jokingly concerned that it would be another girl. And I was like, 4 girls, are you joking? Like, what would you think? How would you feel? And without hesitation, he said, I would have 5 more girls if I could. I'm a girl dad. When it came to sports, he said that his oldest daughter was an accomplished volleyball player and that the youngest was a toddler, so TBD. But that middle one, he said, that middle one was a monster. She's a beast. She's better than I was at her age. She's got it. That middle one, of course, was Gigi. When I reflect on this tragedy and that half an hour that I spent with Kobe Bryant 2 years ago, I suppose that the only small source of comfort for me is knowing that he died doing what he loved the most, being a dad, being a girl dad.
Growing up in LA, I don't even know if I can do this. He meant so much to a city. That fighting spirit that he had, I think everyone had that in him, and he found a way to make it okay for everyone to be that way.
That is the voice of Diana Taurasi, thanks to ESPN. I wish we could have got the video for it, just the audio, but Diana Taurasi, Team USA, speaking at Connecticut the other night where they played the UConn women, and also heard from Elle Duncan from ESPN before that, and their thoughts on the passing of Kobe Bryant on Sunday. And it was Tuesday night, last night, the Team USA played UConn, and UConn was Gianna Bryant's, Gigi's favorite college basketball team. She wanted to go there one day, and they left a jersey and flowers at the team bench for her all night long for the game. So powerful thoughts there and powerful emotions. You saw the social media post, and a lot of local guys in Helena and across the state putting up the hashtag Girl Dads and sharing it with their pictures of their daughters. I did it. You can go to my Twitter page and see it. But you're pretty emotional there for many on Kobe Bryant's passing. That's What She Said is presented by Dinner's Done Right. Make sure you stop by for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. If you stop in and get 10, they'll take a percentage off of your 10th. So it's not free, but you get a great deal on after buying 10 lunches. You can stop there and eat. You can take it to go. Soup, salad, nacho bar. Dinner's Done Right. And check them out there on Cedar. Let's see. What do we got still to come? Let's do On This Day in History, shall we? This date in 1900, American League was organized. Teams in Buffalo, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, Indianapolis, Kansas City, Milwaukee, and Minneapolis. This date in 1924, the Swiss team of Dennis Vacher and Alfred Aufdineblatten, along with Antoine Julen and Alphonse Julen, won the military patrol gold medal at the first Winter Games. It was the first version of the biathlon, which is really fun to watch. 1936, the first players were elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame on this date. That amazing class: Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Christy Mathewson, and Walter Johnson. Yeah, they were pretty good. 1963, Jim Thorpe, Red Grange, and George Halas were elected to the Football Hall of Fame. On this date in 1964, the most lopsided high school basketball score ever recorded in Louisiana. The score was 211-29. That is accurate. 211-29. Let's see. Happy birthdays today to, on this date in 1891, R. Norris Williams. He was an American tennis player. He won the U.S. National Championship, which became the U.S. Open. He won it in 1914 and 1916. He was born in Geneva, Switzerland on this date in 1891. That means nothing. What does mean something, and what's cool about this, he survived the Titanic sinking. And then he won the National Championship of the U.S. in tennis 2 years later, and he won it twice. Happy birthday to Greg Louganis, the American diver, Olympic gold medalist in springboard in 84 and 88, was born in San Diego on this date. This date in 1879, the Custer Battlefield National Monument was established in Montana. So there you go. That is on this date in history. If you want to sponsor that, you can. Get a hold of me. JasonWalkerShow.com. You can also email me, JasonWalkerSports@gmail.com. Earlier today, we talked with Capital Wrestling coach Jeff Mahana. Got his thoughts on the wrestling season, and we're coming down to the wire. 3 weeks left in the regular season, and the Bruins with a couple of duels tomorrow up at the Flathead and Glacier, and along with Helena High up there as well. The final regular season duels. You got the seeding tournament then next week. You got divisionals next week at the lower divisions, and then state at the Metro. I have never been to that. I don't think I'm going to make it this year, but I think I want to get to that sometime, the All-Class State Wrestling Tournament. I've heard it is nuts, and it's awesome. Wrestling tournaments are just awesome in general, whether you got a dog in the fight or not. But there you go. All right, let's do the walk-off. Yeah.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
All right. Earlier in the show, we talked about a Twitter discussion that was had last night over whether or not a play was a dunk or whether it was a charge or a block. And my old broadcast partner, Gary Turcotte, the Hall of Famer, used to say that the hardest call to make as an official is the block charge call. Now, let me set the scene. I don't have the video of it. I can share it up on the Twitter page later. Raleigh Worcester going for a dunk for Hellgate. Posterizes a kid. No doubt about it. However, it was called a charge, and rightfully so. And then, I don't know if it's sister, but, this has not been a good week for the Worcester family. Dad got kicked out of a game at Butte last week, and they are very protective of their own, as most families are. But talking to some officials, reading the rule book, and then having the rule book showed to the people, the disagreeters, and they still want to argue about how it, and yeah, should the ref maybe have just let it go because it was such a sweet dunk? Probably. But by the rule, he led with his knee into the defender's chest. The defender was set 2 feet, set, facing his opponent. The offender came in, jumped, led with his knee, which you cannot do. You cannot lead with your feet, or you cannot extend your feet or your knee in a fashion that would draw contact, and thus it was a charge. Player control foul. It's the right call. Quit arguing with me on the social media. I'm right, you're not. There you go. All right, what else did we miss today? I don't really want to bring up this story, so we'll just get to thanking Jeff Mahana, the Capital coach, for joining us yesterday. Yesterday. He joined us today. Tomorrow, we're going to be joined in the Major Mortgage Man Cave by the head coach, wrestling coach at Townsend, John Odell. We'll also check in with Eric Peterson. And I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or Friday, but we are going to have a very special guest. And I have met this person once. I'm not going to say name because I don't want to jinx it, just in case it falls through. But it is going to happen. It's not going to fall through. It's going to happen. And I am very excited. This is one, and I'll tease it once we finalize it, but I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. All right, thanks for joining us today. Hope you had a great day. Have a great Thursday as well, but have a good Wednesday night. Hug your kids, hug your wife, husband, tell them you love them. Jason Walker Show. We'll do it again tomorrow. A walk-off, by the way, brought to you by Cafe Zydeco, 625 Euclid. Stop by for the best Cajun this side of Louisiana. We'll see you tomorrow. Jason Walker Show. Bye.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.